to week 1 of the Tim and Chuck Show, presented by Bat and Stevens Body Shop. I am Tim McDonough, joined by my esteemed colleague, Chuck Martinez-Brandon. We are here on location at Frickers of Defiance. Yeah. Chuck, week 1 of the football season is here. Are you excited? Are you ready?
Fired up and ready to roll. You know, it seemed like just yesterday the two-a-days started, and that time goes fast. So we'll see what everybody has in store for week 1.
Well, Chuck, it's time to preview our game of the week. We got one big game we're going to preview each week, and this week it's none other than Defiance and Napoleon.
Right.
Playing on Thursday night. We've talked about it a little bit before. 7 p.m. Fred J. Brown Stadium.
Yeah.
They're playing for the Rock.
The Triple R.
That River Rock has brought something to this rivalry, hasn't it?
Oh, man, I tell you what, kids talk about that all year long. You know, if they have it, they talk smack about having it. If they don't have it, they talk, you know, hey, we got to get it back. It's, you know, it's really added a lot to a rivalry that was already heated.
All right, well, last year Defiance lost a heartbreaker, Chuck, 49-43. They thought they had that game won. Napoleon scored 2 late scores. Let's talk a little bit about what Defiance and what they have to do. They've got Alex Gonzalez back at quarterback. He's experienced. Jake Myers is top returning target. Yep. What will Defiance have to do offensively? Can they get the tough yards on the ground?
Yeah, I mean, that's the key. And I think if you're looking at Defiance's offense, they're going against the Napoleon defense that has sort of changed things around. You know, for years, Napoleon was the innovator of the 3-5-3 defense in this area. They really, you know, were the pioneers of that. And last year they sort of went to like a 4-3 look, and this year they changed again. Got some Ben George guy, you know. If you know anything about area football, you know the Georges know football from the Henry County. Yeah. So he's over there in Napoleon now, and he's bringing a 3-4 look to it. So it's something a little new for Napoleon, and the Defiance offense is going to have to deal with something that they haven't seen out of the Wildcats before.
Well, how about offensively for Napoleon? You've said this before many times on the show. If you have 2 quarterbacks, you don't have one, but it looks like Napoleon may have 2.
Exactly, you know, and they had a big competition going in the season. It sort of looks like the Derek Gherkin kid, you know, has sort of stepped to the forefront, and he might take it. But you're right, if you're running a 2 quarterback system, it's hard for everybody to gel with 2 guys because everybody's sort of a different leader, and you really need just that one guy for everybody to rally around.
Well, they're going to have to score against a defense that gave up a lot of points last year, Chuck. That has to change for Defiance to get better. Jack Frederick, Mitch Glassford are going to have to step up, and some other guys to slow down that Napoleon attack.
Yeah, exactly. You know, when you're looking at a lot of points, you can't be in shootouts unless you're Kenton every week. You know, sooner or later defenses have to step up, and you have to stop people sooner or later.
What do you think about this matchup, Chuck? I mean, it's like, again, it's Thursday night. The area is going to be there. It's going to be a packed stadium.
Oh, it is. And I think, you know, it's week 1, so you're looking at who's going to make the less mistakes. You know, who's going to have 1 fumble and who's going to have 3 interceptions. It's all going to be about limiting those mistakes and making the most out of the opportunities if the other team does make mistakes.
Well, we're going to take a short break. We'll be right back.
With an online subscription to the Crescent-News, you can read every article, see every photo, download and read each printed page, watch Crescent-News videos, and see great deals offered by our advertisers. For just $7 a month, you'll know the news in Northwest Ohio as it happens.
And we're back, Chuck. Besides Defiance and Napoleon, there's a few other big games going on this week, such as Liberty Center at Tenora. We've got Wauseon at Fairview, your Pilots at home against Northwood. Edgerton and Patrick Henry, Archbold, Hicksville. It's a great slate of games for week 1.
Oh, it really is, you know, and it's if you're a football junkie, you got to love it. You kick off Thursday with the Defiance Napoleon, and then all those other great games you have to choose from. You know, if you're not, you know, a lot of people like to just go watch games. So if you're not following one team, man, there's plenty of choices.
Yeah. Well, we're happy to announce that our videographer Ethan Matson is back to be videotaping the game of the week for us. This week he's going to be doing 2, Chuck. He'll be at the Defiance Napoleon game and the Liberty Center Tenora game.
We're only paying him for 1, though.
Well, you know, I don't. That's not in my pay grade, but you know, if you say so, right. If you see Ethan out there, fans, you know, ham it up, have some fun. He'll get you on camera. Of course, you know, the highlights will be on our website at Crescent-News.com every week. We call that our game of the week, and this year it's presented by Ken's Furniture Defiance, so check that out. All right, Chuck, we've got a new segment this year. It's called our Question of the Week. It is a question of the week.
That's right.
Well, why don't you tell the people what it is this week? Yeah.
Hey, this week, obviously, with the big Napoleon Defiance game, those 2 teams have met 92 times over the course of the program's history. And Napoleon holds the edge. Exactly how many games of an edge do they have over Defiance?
Well, I'll give our viewers a hint. If they check Wednesday's sports section of the Crescent-News, they may just find that answer. So please send your answers to the email scrolling below us right now. From all the correct answers, we will pick one out at random, and then we will tell you who the winner is on our next show.
Please send in answers, because I don't want to have to be the winner every week.
But he will be.
Yeah, I will. But
So anyone who would like to come out for a taping of the Tim and Chuck Show is welcome to join us here at Frickers. We're here on Tuesdays at 11:30 a.m. If you can't join us, make sure to follow us on Facebook, like our page, check us out on Twitter, and while we're at it, why don't we have a special guest join us this week? We are joined by Kirk Jones, Ayersville new athletic director. Welcome to the show, Kirk.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
Your first football season. You just had a column about it in the paper on Monday. Are you ready for some football?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's been, there's a lot of preparation that goes into it for sure. I think, as I kind of alluded to in my article that I wrote, there's just so many things that you take for granted when you're just going to watch the game, and even when you're a coach, that gets done behind the scenes to get people ready and to make sure it's a great experience for everybody.
Are you having fun?
Yeah, it's a blast. I love being back at Ayersville, and obviously, when you're able to go back to the school that you grew up in, and when my dad was there as a superintendent, it was kind of a second home for me there, and it's becoming a second home real fast now too.
Well, that's awesome. That's awesome. Kirk, thanks for joining us. Chuck, that's going to do it for week 1 of the Tim and Chuck Show.
Goes fast.
It goes fast.
We won't talk playoffs yet, but they're coming.
It's a little early, but we'll be talking about them soon. Hey, be sure to check out coverage of all high school football at Crescent-News.com. Check out the newspaper. Our sports department does a great job with coverage. We will see you next week. Right, Chuck?
We'll be here.